Do I think it sounds good? No, none of it.
It's not ethical at all.
What's the concern? It's going to take jobs away from musicians? We don't have jobs.
There still needs to be a human element in music.
It's just taking everything that already exists and essentially plagiarizing it on the nano level.
Do I have boogers in my nose?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Someone will comment. Let's start here. AI music, have you heard it? What do you think it sounds like?
I've heard some. There's better songs than others, obviously. But, you know, some of it's funny and some of it's like kind of sad. I think right now we can tell when you're hearing AI generated music. Now, you know, there's AI generated lyrics and stuff. That's a little bit harder to come by.
What is it doing? Is it taking, how does it create a vocal track?
So here's an example. So there's this Rick Beato video of this. You've probably, which I know you love that guy so much. You'll go to ChatGPT and you'll say, write me lyrics for a song about a cowboy who's leaving his hometown and settling out in a new blah, blah, blah. And it spits out a bunch of lyrics. Then you go to this other software and you say, use these lyrics and give me this country feeling song with acoustic guitars, blah, 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 blah. And then it spits out a song with those lyrics. And it sounds like...
Who sings it?
It's a fake voice. But see, so that's the problem, is the way the fake voice is generated is by...
Yeah, but that can't sound like a real person.
Dude, let me show you some of it.
There's no signal in the valley, but I'm finding who I am. In the static and the shadows where the broken spirits land. No connection to the world above, but I'm learning how to stand.
So this is all fake. Like he just made this by plugging prompts into a computer.
Let's hear the other one.
And then he got a second version of it.
No signal in the valley.
Same lyrics.
It all sounds like CCM garbage. I imagine the prompts were boy Taylor Swift, and that's what you came up with.
Something like that.
I guess the one thing you say, there's like no soul to it. So it doesn't sound great. It's maybe, I heard a couple things that were like catchy in the moment, but nothing that like, it's not gonna draw you in and be like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this whole album. That never happens.
First and foremost, AI music is just a result of the advancement of technology. So first and foremost. So it's gonna be here. It's gonna be here for everybody. Secondly, the hustle of AI music is something that everyone is just figuring out. Hence, Spotify executives using AI to make an AI band so that the AI band, who doesn't exist in real life, can generate them thousandths of cents. That's the point of the world that we are in with music, as far as I think AI is. It is so new that everyone is trying to figure out how to make money on it.
Have you heard any AI generated music, and what did you think about it?
I have. I have certain friends that have sent me things, said, hey, check this out, isn't this cool, you know, and I listened to it. And to me, there's always just this kind of strange, overwhelming feeling of like sonic artifacts that exist in the music. Yeah. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's just something unsettling about it. In the drums, in the vocals, there's just always something that's a little bit, it's almost like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Everything is 99% there, the world that you live in, you know, there's gravity, and that's a house made of bricks, and there's a dog, but then all of a sudden, there's just like a giant crane that appears out of the ocean, and it's like, what the hell is that, you know? There's just always something that's, and sometimes it's much more microscopic than that, but there's just something unsettling about the little artifacts that I hear in all of the instruments.
And I found too, like AI jazz specifically sounds like, it sounds like it doesn't make sense. Like it sounds like you're listening to a conversation of two people that are having a conversation in a language that you don't understand. Absolutely. It's like feels very weird.
And it's not even like a language from a different country that you don't understand, because you can feel the soul when you're listening to somebody from, you know, say they're speaking Armenian or something. I might not understand that, but I can feel the love and the laughter or the pain. You know, but it's almost just like some sort of stolen. It's I don't know.
So something people say is that it's just you're just feeding the machine, like the AI, right? You just feed it a bunch of stuff, and it spits out a weird combination of all of that. So they're saying there's like a copyright issue. That's what people are saying.
Oh. I mean, who's getting paid, I guess?
Other things that are happening is like people will generate like artist pages. They'll like come up with an artist name that's like a complete something that does a person that doesn't exist. So then they're uploading those songs onto Spotify and stuff and making money off of this from an artist that doesn't exist.
I mean, I think the artist in me and the musician in me, and probably just me as a human, like, I don't really like that, because in an ideal world, I want original music being made by people, and usually what I think music or art is supposed to come from, it's supposed to be an expression of your experience, an expression of something unique to you. And with something like AI, we're obviously not getting that. The flip side of that is kind of like, hey, if people like it, then...
I don't think the majority of people will latch on to fake AI band music. Have you ever seen a player piano?
Yeah.
And have it try to swing? And it can't, because you can't program that. There's no way to do it.
Yeah.
How is this going to be any different? I mean,
People are saying that it's like not ethical because it's just being fed a bunch of stuff that people made, and then it's spitting out a combination of that stuff, so it's not actually making anything.
Yeah, I somewhat agree. Like most things, I don't take hard stances on anything, because I think there's some validity to that for sure. Of like, yeah, if you're just feeding this machine, like, oh, spit me out a song that sounds like the Beatles are talking about, like, twerking or something.
Send me the link.
And you're putting it out you're like putting it out to make money. I think that's unethical.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to use it as a tool that is, a little bit more ethical. Kind of like, I've heard people make the argument of, like, songwriters use a thesaurus all the time to be like, oh, well, I need a rhyme for this, and what's another word that works with this, and just kind of, it's more like a puzzle that you're piecing together.
It's just taking everything that already exists and essentially plagiarizing it on the nano level.
Yeah.
Just microscopically taking data from different genres of music. And what was that article that just came out about that band that's on Spotify that has,
it's like a fake band.
It's like a Led Zeppelin mixed with the Beatles, and what is the name of that? Do you remember offhand? I read that article a few weeks ago, and that was really disturbing to me that somebody's getting paid for that, 75 million views in the first 2 weeks or something like that. And it's probably astronomically larger at this point.
What kind of impact do you think this is going to have on the music industry long term?
Long term, I think what's going to happen is everybody that is already good at the music industry, whatever you do, is going to be fine. Those people will be fine. I think it's the folks maybe a little younger than us. I'm talking like 20s, like early 20s, where they're going to have a hard time, I think, having the accessibility to AI. It's going to be tempting. Oh man, I made this beat with AI. And it's like, man, I made it by myself. Right now, I think it's not going to have any good effects. But long term, it's like, it's not going to, it won't last, because in order for anything to last, it needs to be good first. And nothing AI makes is good. So it won't last unless people like Spotify, et cetera, figure out how to use it to make money.
what's the concern? It's going to take jobs away from musicians? We don't have jobs. There's no jobs. People listen to that. People listen to AI music, and they're like, yeah, it sounds just like Nickelback. I love it. That's fine. Who cares? So it's going to take Nickelback's job.
It's tough to say. I mean, because legislation could come in and try to squash some of that stuff. But I also think not enough people care right now. So, because they don't even care enough to pay musicians a fair rate for streaming, because it's like cents on the dollar.
It all depends on what kind of music you're in. I myself, I'm as popular as baked beans on a bus trip. So I think as far as my music's concerned, I've been used to not being loved or admired for quite some time.
I've heard AI jazz that just sounds terrible because I feel like functionally the computer doesn't understand it. Yeah, it doesn't get it. So
I mean, people don't like jazz. So that's your first problem.
Folks that kind of align themselves with the music that I play are going to be okay. I think it's going to be really interesting for big time pop and rock and, touring groups and artists like, you know, the Taylor Swifts of the world. I'm sure ones that are already established will, of course, have some following that will always, if you grew up with something, you'll always, you know, have that following until that generation either dies off or she does something crazy that loses her votes.
Yeah, right. Do you think this is going to have any type of impact on the music industry?
Oh, probably it will. Doesn't everything? I mean, I don't know. It's not like Muzak did away with, you know, the dumb gig that we're on our way to do. Like, they could just put on, you know, a Burt Bacharach or a Stan Getz record, but we're gonna go play that music instead.
I'm a little cynical. I think it's going to have a worse impact on life as a whole. And I'm not sure music will matter.
I'm gonna take the optimistic view on that and say 30 years from now, people will get sick and tired of that. And they'll come out to a place like we're playing tonight and be like, wow, that guy's actually playing the alto saxophone? Maybe in time, yeah, folks will get tired of that sort of mentality and want to see real live musicians doing what we do.
The general thing that I have is I think people will eventually reject it. I think it's going to go so far in the direction of just artificial that people are going to crave the human connection and like the human elements of music that won't be replicable for AI. So,
What kind of impact do you think this will have on the music industry?
On the industry, on the one hand, I could see it like really affecting on an even deeper level session work and writers and what we do, or what people who create the music do. But on the other hand, I imagine that there will be some things that are streamlined, some things that maybe humans don't get paid to do anymore or get paid less to do. But it's still, you know, there still needs to be a human element in music, and I think people resonate with that.
You're gonna see it used where people don't want to spend money on music, which is, you know, where is music very expensive? Licensing, television, films.
So we're going to see everybody like, you know, oh, movies are done, oh, sync licensing is done, soundtracks are done. But that's just right now. It'll eventually come back around, but right now we're in here.
So yeah, do I think that those people will use this technology to not pay someone to write a song because it'll be cheaper and or free? Yeah, of course they will. Put the movie script into an AI generator, you know, and burn, you know, 3 more levels of ozone with all the computing power it takes to come up with a Taylor Swift rip-off song of like whatever the next, you know, Wolfman movie is. That's what you'll get.
Do you think there's any like solution? Do you think there's any stopping this?
No.
It's just train's just gonna keep rolling.
No, there's no stopping it. It's, you know, and specifically with music, the last thing that I can think of is like the Napster thing. People were illegally downloading things, and, you know, the streaming platforms jumped in to kind of save the business in a way. Certainly a lot of problems with that, but there's no stopping it. It's not going anywhere.
I think the only thing that's going to stop it is like a coalition of musicians coming together and trying to get some kind of legislation passed. But like personally, it's tough to want to go after that kind of stuff when like I'm still trying to just make a living, you know, and I can't make a living off streaming right now. So I have to do, you know, wedding gigs or my own gigs with like the bands that I'm involved in, and put more energy and focus on that rather than like writing my congressman to like see if they could even like propose a bill that might squash this kind of thing.
Man, the solution, it's tough, right? Because there are people that really love AI. AI has made music so tangible for those who it was not tangible for. That's probably the only good argument you can make for AI. But then it's like, obviously good things take work. So those that worked to make a song versus me, Ross, I use AI to make songs, your song is going to be better every time, better than mine, just because of the for real goose grease, the elbow grease, the for real work and actual soul that you put into it. So I don't know. I think it'll, for pure like musicians now, We'll just have to see what happens. If you and I were like purely like sync licensors, we'd probably be doomed. If we were trying to be Hans Zimmer, we would probably be doomed. If we were trying to be like the next Migos, we would probably be a little doomed, because AI can do all that stuff faster than any human can. Forget if it's good or if it's bad. They can just plain out do it faster. So pick your poison.
We've had this problem with technology for the past probably 20 years now, of we have these crazy technological advances, and then as humans we don't know what to do with it, as a society we don't know what to do with it, and especially as a governed body with laws, we don't know what to do with it. And I do think it's wreaking havoc in a lot of different institutional spaces, academia being one of them, music being one of them, et cetera, et cetera. And so I do think that on a general level there should be some type of regulation, but I also think that we regulate a lot of things and people do what they're going to do with it anyway. And so I think probably what should happen, what I'd like to see happen, is that the corporate we of the music industry self-regulates use of AI in a way that maybe some ways we use it is okay, but some ways we use it is gauche and frowned upon, and we kind of just socially evolve it out of the equation. But that'll probably take a lot of time.
Cool, that's all. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about what's going to happen with AI in the music industry, but I generally kind of think that people are going to get sick of not being able to tell what is real and what's made by humans, and that will just lead more people wanting to come out and see real humans do real things, like go to concerts and check out live music at restaurants and things like that. But I could definitely also see it going the other way, where it just completely destroys an industry. So hopefully that won't be what happens, but something I know AI won't take away is my merch that's available at FoolishFrankie.com. That's such a silly transition, but check out my merch or my Patreon. I'll have both of those linked in the description. Thank you to everyone who's bought some stuff. It's pretty exciting for me to get to see orders come in and then stuff them all in envelopes and send them out. So I appreciate you guys so much. I'll also post some outtakes from funny things that people said in this video on my Patreon. Haven't made one of these musicians on videos in a while, so let me know if you like them or if there's something else you want me to ask a bunch of my musician friends. Also, I realized I only asked drummers except for Anton. I don't know how that happened, but I asked a lot of drummers, so I'll get some horn players on the next one. All right, thanks for watching, guys. You want in on this? What do you think about AI music?